Hello everyone, this is Lola from Afropotluck.com. Today I'm going to be showing you how to make a very simple mango ice cream recipe. I call this a simple recipe because you basically need just about 3 to 4 ingredients to put this together. And the only machine required for this recipe is just your blender. So let's get started. I'm going to be using some frozen mangoes, some honey, a little bit of lemon juice, which is quite optional. Then I'm also going to be using the full fat coconut milk. And by the way, I'm using the store-bought frozen mangoes for today. If you don't have this or you don't want to use this, feel free to buy the raw mangoes from the store, but make sure you buy the super ripe ones. The ones with the yellow skin are preferable. Make sure you try to avoid the ones with the green skin, just like this. Simply peel the skin and cut it into chunks, then freeze it for a couple of hours until it's well frozen. Then you can continue with the remaining process. The next thing I'm going to do is just to pour all this inside the blender. Starting from the coconut milk, I like to put that at the bottom of the blender because it helps the blending process. The next thing I'm going to be adding is the frozen mangoes, and make sure you use a very strong blender for this because the mangoes are really frozen. I'm also going to be adding some honey, which will not only sweeten the ice cream, but it's also going to give it a very good texture. And finally, I'm going to be adding the lemon juice. This is actually optional. If your mango is really tart, you don't have to add this. Now I'm just going to cover this up and I'm going to blend everything together. I'm going to start by using the pulse button, so it's going to make the work easier for my blender. After I've used the pulse button to cut the mangoes into smaller pieces, I will now be blending this mixture until it becomes very smooth and creamy. Now this is what we have. As you can see, it's very smooth and creamy. So at this point, you can either serve the ice cream this way, or you can just pour it into a freezable container and leave it in the freezer for about 2 to 4 hours. And it's actually okay to leave it beyond 4 hours, but it might be too hard to scoop at that point. So what you have to do is just to leave it on the tabletop to thaw for a little bit before serving it. So this ice cream has been in the freezer for some time now, and at this point I'm just going to be serving it. Now you can begin to enjoy your ice cream the way it is, but if you like, you can add some toppings like nuts or whatever you choose to top it with. But for me, I'm just going to drizzle a little bit of honey on this before I start enjoying it. And that is it. This recipe is super healthy and you don't have to feel all this guilt you feel when you take the regular ice cream. I have put a link in the description box below for the full details of today's recipe. Thank you all for watching, and I'll talk to you shortly. Bye!